My name is Elena Carter. I'm 29 years old, and up until 6 weeks ago, I thought I understood what trust felt like. 4 years with Daniel. 13 years of friendship between him and Marissa. We weren't just a couple, we were a small, solid world. The kind you don't question because it feels permanent. That illusion died in the quietest way possible. He left his laptop open. That's it. No grand mistake, no suspicious behavior, just carelessness. He said he was going to grab coffee from the shop down the street. I remember telling him to bring me something sweet, joking about how I deserved it for finishing a brutal work week. I was sitting on the couch when the notification popped up. Marissa, can't wait to have you to myself tonight. I remember staring at those words like they were written in a language I didn't understand. My brain didn't panic. It didn't even hurt yet. It just slowed down. I opened the message. Then I kept scrolling. 6 months. 6 months of conversations, plans, hotel bookings, late night meetups, complaints about me, my habits, my personality, the way I loved him. Marissa telling Daniel she'd always wanted him, that she'd been waiting for the right moment. Photos. I didn't react to those either, not outwardly. Inside, something precise and surgical was happening, like a clean cut. I checked the time. The coffee shop closed in 30 minutes. He wouldn't be back yet. So I did the only thing that made sense in that moment. I documented everything. Screenshots, every thread, every image, every plan. Sent them to myself, backed them up twice. My hands were steady. That's the part I remember most. Not shaking, not crying, just steady. Then I closed the laptop. Exactly how he left it. When he came back, he was smiling. That normal, easy smile I used to trust without thinking. He handed me the coffee. Got your favorite? I looked at him. And for the first time, I saw someone I didn't know. We're done. He blinked. What? I know about you and Marissa. The silence that followed was different. Not empty. Sharp. His face shifted. Fast. Shock. Then fear. Then something else. Something controlled. Elena, it's not what you think. 6 months. And somehow, those were still his first words. I saw everything, I said. My voice didn't rise. Don't lie. His eyes filled instantly. Tears. Right on cue. She came on to me. I didn't know how to tell you. I was confused. 6 months, I cut in. You were confused for 6 months? That's when I saw it. Not guilt. Not shame. Calculation. Like he was adjusting the story in real time. I stood up. Get your things from my place this week. Elena, please. I walked past him. If I stayed any longer, I might have felt something, and I wasn't ready for that yet. I went home, packed everything that belonged to him, folded it neatly, placed it by the door, texted him once, pick it up when I'm not there. Then I blocked him, Marissa too. I thought that was the end, a clean break, a quiet ending to something that didn't deserve noise. I even told myself, maybe this was the best way it could have happened. No screaming. No begging, just truth. Simple. Final. But there was one thing I couldn't shake, that look on his face. Not when I said we were done, but right before the tears. That moment where he wasn't reacting. He was thinking, adjusting, rewriting. At the time, I didn't understand why that bothered me. I do now. Because that wasn't the face of someone caught. That was the face of someone preparing. The first message came 2 days later, not from Daniel, from someone I hadn't spoken to in weeks. Hey, I don't want to get involved, but what actually happened between you and Daniel? I stared at the screen for a long time before replying. We broke up. That was it. Clean, simple, contained. But the reply came almost instantly. He's saying some pretty serious things about you. And just like that, I felt it. That quiet, surgical calm I'd been holding on to since the breakup, it shifted. Not into panic, into awareness. What kind of things? I typed. There was a pause. Then, he says you were emotionally abusive. I didn't respond right away, not because I didn't have something to say, but because I suddenly understood something I hadn't before. That look on his face. He wasn't reacting. He was preparing. And now, this was the version of the story he chose. I locked my phone and set it down. Still no anger, just clarity sharpening. Over the next few days, the messages multiplied. Different people, same tone, careful, curious, slightly distant, like they were already leaning toward believing him, but wanted to give me a chance to confirm it. He said you controlled who he talked to. He mentioned you got jealous really easily. Someone said you didn't let him go out with friends. Each version slightly different, each one worse. And every time I gave the same answer. That's not true. Nothing more. Because I wasn't ready yet. Not emotionally, not strategically. But the consequences didn't wait for me to catch up. 3 days after the first message, I was uninvited from a camping trip I'd been planning with friends for months. The message was polite, too polite. Hey, Elena, I think it might be best if you sit this one out, just until things calm down. Until things calm down. As if I were the storm. I didn't argue. I just replied, got it. Then I removed myself from the group chat. No announcement. No explanation, just gone. By the end of the week, it wasn't just friends. It was everyone. My phone rang one night, my younger sister. Hey, Mom got a call today. I closed my eyes. From who? Daniel's mom. Of course. What did she say? A pause. She said you hurt him, that you made him feel trapped, that he was scared to leave you. I let out a quiet breath, not shaky. Not broken, just tired. And what did Mom say? She didn't know what to say, my sister admitted. She sounded worried. That one landed, not because of the lie, but because of the doubt. Did you tell her the truth? I asked. I told her I didn't believe it, she said quickly. But Elena, people are talking. People are always talking. I hung up shortly after. Then I sat there in the dark, staring at nothing, not crying. Just thinking. He didn't just lie. He escalated. And he did it fast. Too fast for it to be improvised. The next time I saw him wasn't planned. It was at my usual coffee spot, the same one he'd gone to that day. The day everything ended. I walked in, and there he was, sitting at a table with her, Lily, his ex-girlfriend, the same one he'd sworn was just a friend now. She looked comfortable, close to him, too close, their knees almost touching under the table. And around them, 3 other people I recognized, mutual friends. They all looked up at the same time, and the shift in the room was immediate, like I'd brought something in with me, something dirty, something wrong. Daniel's expression changed the second he saw me. Not guilt, not even surprise, sadness. Carefully arranged sadness, the kind that performs well in public. Lily reached for his hand, right in front of everyone. A silent gesture, support, validation, a statement. I felt all of them watching me, waiting. Me, the abusive ex, the problem, the villain of a story I hadn't even told yet. One of the girls at the table leaned toward another and whispered something, not quietly enough. Is that her? I walked to the counter, ordered my coffee, ignored the weight of their stares pressing into my back. And just as I turned to leave, I heard it. Some people shouldn't be allowed to treat others like that. Soft, but intentional. Meant to be heard. I didn't turn around, didn't react. Because reacting would make it real. And I wasn't ready to give them that. Outside, the air felt colder than it should have. I stood there for a moment, coffee untouched in my hand. Then I exhaled. Slow. Measured. And for the first time since all of this started, I felt something break through the calm. Not anger. Not yet, but pressure. Like something building behind a locked door. That night, I made a mistake. I opened social media. Photos. Daniel and Lily, together, captioned like a quiet love story. Sometimes you have to leave darkness to find light. Comments flooded underneath. So proud of you. You deserve happiness. Glad you got out. Out. Like I was something he escaped. I scrolled further. His post came next. No names, just implications. Real love doesn't control. It supports, protects, understands. Hundreds of likes. People agreeing. People praising him. Marissa commented too. Always here for you. You deserve better. My fingers tightened around my phone. Marissa. The same woman who had been part of this from the beginning. Now playing the loyal friend. The protector. The witness. That's when it clicked. Not just the lie. The structure of it. The roles. The narrative. The hero. The victim. The villain. And I knew exactly who I was supposed to be. I set my phone down slowly because now it wasn't just a breakup anymore. It was a story, and Daniel was making sure he told it first. By the third week, silence had turned into something heavier. Not peaceful. Not strategic anymore. Just isolating. It wasn't just the messages or the whispers. It was the absence. People I used to talk to daily stopped reaching out. Group chats went quiet the moment I entered them. Invitations disappeared without explanation. Even at work, something had shifted. Nothing obvious. No direct accusations. But conversations stopped when I walked into rooms. Eyes lingered a second too long. Smiles felt forced. Then HR called me in. That was new. I sat across from my manager and a woman from HR who kept her tone deliberately neutral. "We've received a few anonymous complaints," she said carefully. "Nothing formal, nothing actionable, but concerns about your behavior." I didn't ask what kind. I already knew. "My behavior toward who?" I asked instead. A pause. "Just interpersonal conduct." I almost smiled. That was how vague lies survived. They didn't need details. They just needed space to exist. After the meeting, my manager pulled me aside. "I don't know what's going on in your personal life," he said quietly, "but it's starting to affect how people see you here." "It's not true," I said. He nodded, but not convincingly. "Then maybe you should address it." "Maybe, but not yet." Because something about all of this still felt incomplete, like I was missing a piece. That piece came to me a few days later, unexpected. Her name was Sophie, Daniel's former best friend. We'd never been close, but we'd been around each other enough. Birthdays, dinners, small gatherings. Friendly, but distant. When she texted me asking to meet, my first instinct was no. It felt like a trap. Another setup, another version of the story I wasn't allowed to control. But something in her message felt off. "I need to tell you something, please." So I went. Public place, neutral ground, afternoon. She was already there when I arrived, sitting rigidly, hands wrapped around a coffee she hadn't touched. When she saw me, her expression tightened. Not hostile, guilty. "I won't take long," she said quickly, like she was afraid she'd lose her nerve. I didn't sit yet. "Then don't," she swallowed. "What he's saying about you, it's not just a lie." I felt something inside me go still. It's planned. There it was. Out loud. Confirmed. I sat down slowly. "Explain." Her eyes flickered toward the window, like she was checking for exits. "Daniel's been talking to his inner circle. Not publicly, but enough. Talking." "About what?" "How well it's working," she said quietly. "The story. How easily people believe it." A sharp, quiet pulse went through my chest. "And Marissa?" I asked. She nodded. "She helped him build it." "Of course she did." "They've been laughing about it," she continued, her voice tightening, "about how you're too passive to fight back, how you'd just disappear." I leaned back slightly, not surprised, just confirming what I already knew. "There's more," she said quickly, like she needed to get it out before she changed her mind. "He asked me to post something." "What kind of something?" "A story on Facebook about a party 2 years ago." I frowned. "What party?" Exactly, she said. He wanted me to say I saw you grab him, roughly, that I was too scared to speak up back then. The air between us went cold. That never happened. I know, she said. You weren't even there that night. There it was. Not just twisting the truth, creating it. From nothing. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because that mattered. Her answer came without hesitation. Because it's wrong. Simple. Clean. And somehow heavier than everything else. He's not who I thought he was, she added, her voice cracking slightly. What he's doing to you, it's not just revenge. It's calculated. Calculated. Yes, that was the word. I studied her for a moment, then nodded. Thank you. She looked like she wanted to say more, but instead, she just stood up. I'm done with him, she said. I won't lie for him. Then she left. And just like that, the last piece fell into place. That night, I didn't sit in the dark. I didn't scroll through old messages. I didn't replay conversations in my head. I acted. I created a new account, anonymous, clean, untraceable. Then I found him, not directly, through a support page, one he'd been commenting on, talking about his experience, about healing, about escaping emotional abuse. The irony almost made me laugh. I reached out, carefully. I went through something similar, I wrote. Your story resonates with me. He responded within minutes. Of course he did. People like him needed an audience. We talked. Slow at first, then deeper. I mirrored his tone, his language, his pacing. Supportive, understanding, safe. And then I asked the question, the one that mattered. How did you finally find the courage to leave? There was a pause, longer than the others. Then his response came through. Honestly, I didn't leave. I stared at the screen, reading it once, then again. I had already started seeing someone else who showed me what real love looked like. Lily. Of course. When my ex found out, I knew she'd try to twist things, so I made sure I told my side first. My side. I said what I needed to say to protect myself and my new relationship. Protect. Strategic. Clean. Deliberate. You have to be careful with people like that, he added. If you don't control the narrative, they will. There it was. Not anger. Not regret. Not even guilt. Just strategy. I took screenshots. Every message. Every word. Saved them. Backed them up. Twice. Then I closed the app and sat there in the quiet. Not shaking. Not crying. Just breathing. Slow. Steady. Because now, I didn't just have the truth. I had his version of it, in his own words, but I didn't move yet. Not immediately, because I understood something now that I hadn't before. Timing mattered. If I spoke too early, they'd dismiss it. Say it was fake. Say I manipulated it. No. I needed them comfortable, confident, overexposed, so I waited. And while I waited, he kept building. The story got bigger, the accusations sharper, my name dirtier. Even my mother stopped sounding certain. Maybe there's something you're not telling me? She asked one night, her voice trembling. That one hurt. More than everything else. Mom, I said quietly, I promise you, I didn't do what he's saying. A pause. I want to believe you, she whispered. Want. Not do. I'll prove it, I said. When? Soon. Because I could feel it now. The weight of everything he'd built. Tall. Unstable. Ready. All it needed was a spark. By the 6th week, the story had reached its peak. Daniel wasn't just believed anymore. He was supported, defended, protected. People didn't just accept his version of events. They built around it, strengthened it, repeated it like it was something they had witnessed themselves. And me? I had become something else entirely. A warning. A quiet name people lowered their voices around. That's how lies work when you give them enough time. They stop being questioned. They become truth. That's when I knew it was time. Not because I couldn't take it anymore, but because he had gotten comfortable. Too comfortable. That Saturday morning, I sat at my kitchen table with my laptop open. Everything was already prepared. Weeks of documentation. Every message. Every inconsistency. Every contradiction. I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel angry. Just focused. I didn't post it on social media. That would have turned it into a fight. Instead, I created something quieter. A simple blog. Clean layout. No distractions. Title: The Truth Behind 6 Weeks of Lies. No dramatic language. No emotional accusations. Just facts. I started from the beginning. Our relationship. 4 years. The day I found the messages. What I saw. What I did. Then I added the screenshots. Daniel and Marissa planning everything, line by line. His exact words. If she finds out, I'll just say she was emotionally abusive. People always believe that. Marissa replying, smart. I'll back you up. I've known you longer. People will trust me. More messages. Them discussing how to twist normal moments into something darker. Who to tell first. How to isolate me socially. Then I added the newer messages. The ones from the fake account. Daniel admitting it wasn't about escaping. It was about control. I said what I needed to say to protect myself and my new relationship. I didn't comment on it. I didn't need to. His words spoke for themselves. Then Sophie's testimony. Clear. Direct. Her refusing to lie. Him trying to fabricate an entire event that never happened. Then the timeline. Simple. Visual. His claims versus reality. He said I isolated him, but his own social media showed constant nights out, trips, parties. He said I controlled his phone, but the messages proved he had full freedom, 6 months of it. He said I made him feel trapped, but he had already planned his exit before I even knew anything was wrong. At the very bottom, I wrote 1 paragraph, just one. I stayed silent because I wanted to understand how far the lie would go, how many people would believe something without asking questions. I'm disappointed, but not surprised. False accusations don't just hurt the person they target. They make it harder for real victims to be believed. I hope this reminds people to look for truth before choosing sides. Then I stopped. No insults, no revenge, just truth. I copied the link, opened our old group chat, the one I had left weeks ago, and sent it. No message, just the link. Then I closed my laptop and waited. It didn't take long. Within an hour, my phone exploded. Calls, messages, notifications. The first call I answered was my mom. She was crying, not softly, not controlled, sobbing. Elena, I'm so sorry, she kept repeating. I should have believed you. I should have known. I closed my eyes. It's okay, I said quietly, but it wasn't. Not completely. And we both knew it. Then came the messages, some short, I'm sorry, I didn't know, some longer. Defensive, I didn't want to take sides. Others, silent. Read, no reply. Those told me everything I needed to know. But there were 2 calls I didn't expect. The first was from Daniel's father. I almost didn't answer, but I did. Did you make this up? He asked immediately. Straight to it. No, I said. Everything is real. Every message has timestamps, metadata. Silence. Long. Heavy. She's my son, he said finally, his voice breaking slightly. I swallowed. I know. Another pause. I raised him better than this. There was no defense in his voice. No anger. Just disappointment. Directed at the right person. I don't know what to do with this, he admitted. You don't have to do anything, I said. Just see it for what it is. We spoke for a while after that. Not about blame. Not about fixing anything. Just understanding. When the call ended, I sat there for a moment. Unexpectedly, heavy, because some people didn't deserve what he had done either. His mother never called. But by the next morning, all of her posts were gone. Silence. Complete. Daniel tried to respond publicly. Of course he did. Those messages are taken out of context, he wrote. Manipulated. Anyone who believes this doesn't know the full story. But this time, he didn't control the narrative because Sophie replied, "Stop. I was there. You asked me to lie." It stayed up for 40 minutes. Then it disappeared. Deleted. Just like everything else he couldn't control anymore. Marissa tried too. Claimed the messages were fake. So I posted more. Metadata. Timestamps. Message IDs. Irrefutable. Her boyfriend, someone I didn't even know she had, saw everything. And within hours, he left her. Publicly. Posted his own story. Tagged her workplace. By Monday, she was fired. Apparently, they had a morality clause. Funny how consequences work. Daniel didn't call again after that. Just one email. "We need to talk. You humiliated me. My parents won't even look at me. You destroyed my life over a mistake." I read it once, then replied, "You destroyed your own life. I just told the truth." No response after that. And just like that, it was over. The story collapsed. Not dramatically. Not loudly. Just completely. In the days that followed, things slowly returned. Not to what they were, but to something quieter. 3 wedding invitations reappeared. Apologies came in waves. Some sincere, some not enough. Work settled. HR closed everything. My manager stopped looking at me like a question mark. My mom met with his mother. They cried. They forgave each other. 2 mothers who had both believed the wrong version of their children. As for me, I didn't feel victorious, didn't feel satisfied. Just tired. 6 weeks of watching people doubt me, turn away. Choose a story over a person that leaves something behind, even after the truth comes out. Some friendships didn't come back, even with apologies. And I let them go because trust, once broken like that, doesn't rebuild the same way. Daniel moved out of the city. I heard that through someone else. Marissa went back to her parents, lost her job, her relationship, most of her friends. And Daniel, I don't know where he is now. I don't ask. Some people say I went too far, that I should have handled it privately, quietly. But he didn't. He made it public. I just corrected it with proof. That's the difference. Now, I'm moving forward, slowly. Therapy starts next week, because pretending something like this doesn't affect you is just another kind of lie. But I'm okay. Not the same, but okay. The truth came out, and sometimes that has to be enough.